Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We're out and about.
Yeah.
You read the sign. What's the name of this park?
Don't know.
That's what I thought. Anyway.
It's not a park. It's a graveyard. It's a graveyard. We've been in there before. It is a graveyard. Just checking. For people behind me that don't exist anymore. And they do grave walks. I was reading up there at certain times of the day and obviously night, because some people like that. And they took, because these graves are, I mean, more than a couple of 100 years old. One man, he is buried here, and he's the first man to be buried in this graveyard. So they point that out. Oh, and Oliver Cromwell's granddaughter, his son Richard Cromwell, and then his daughter is buried here. That might be her there. I don't know. That's the most.
Okay. Just talking to them.
Did you see all the graves? I weren't making it up. We're surrounded by
Anyway, it's time for us to get grave.
Okay.
And read from the Bhagavatam. Okay, where are we reading from?
Canto 3, Chapter 30, Text 9. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, bless her. Okay.
Alright. Text 9. I forgot my book, so we're just sharing the iPad. The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics. Always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification, he acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries, and if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. Yeah, you know, if you get like a new washing machine, or you know, the neighbours did this, or put a new floor in, or it makes you happy a little bit, and you just think, yeah, it's all right, this household life.
You gonna read the purport or just talk on the statement from the Bhagavatam?
Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead himself certifies the material world as an impermanent place that is full of miseries. There is no question of happiness in this material world, either individually or in terms of family, society or country. If something is going on in the name of happiness, that is also illusion. Here in this material world, happiness means successful counteraction to the effects of distress. The material world is so made that unless one becomes a clever diplomat, his life will be a failure. Not to speak of human society, even the society of lower animals, the birds and bees, cleverly manages its bodily demands of eating, sleeping and mating. Human society competes nationally or individually, and in the attempt to be successful, the entire human society becomes full of diplomacy. We should always remember that in spite of all diplomacy and all intelligence, in the struggle for our existence, everything will end in a second by the supreme will.
Poof.
Therefore, all our attempts to become happy in this material world are simply a delusion offered by Maya.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So it's like, let's just fly. Yeah, you just, sometimes it's like you don't see the blessings due to the counteracting of the miseries. you're forever counteracting miseries, and you don't stop to see. This is 2 big fat dogs just went by.
Bulldogs. So you don't feel the blessings because you're too busy counteracting the miseries. Was that the statement?
Yeah. You know, if you drew up a list, 2 columns, things that you can be grateful for, you know, and then things that that you seem to think, no, but these are the things I've got to deal with, that sort of thing, you know, or this is where I got short-handed, you know, these are the things that I don't have. That could be a good exercise, actually, to do, and to see to what extent we can count blessings. And even if someone says, no, I'm sorry, but I live in extreme poverty, my wife left me, my kids hate me, they ran away, and my boss doesn't promote me, and I've got club foot, you know, I don't have anything to be happy about. Well, actually, I don't know why I put myself in a corner there, but
what is going on here? Oh, God. These last few episodes have been like Bhava Bhakti depression show. And I got club foot, and my boss didn't I'm gonna die. My life is over. What was I talking about? How to be happy Hare Krishna in the material world. The fact it says is that this last line is really the clincher, and she's just proved it. Therefore, all our attempts to become happy in this material world are simply a delusion offered by Maya. Now, does that mean the famous statement of Srila Prabhupada, chant and be happy, is an illusion, is a delusion, is Maya? Huh? Chant and be happy? Because any attempt to be happy in the material world. See, this is one thing we were just discussing this morning, right? About application and understanding what's actually being said. Because I can just extrapolate, what's the point of being happy? Anyone who's trying to be happy, I can just tell them, you're a stupid moron, you know, there's no chance of being happy in this material world. But Prabhupada says chant and be happy, because what is being referred to here is an attempt to try to be happy in the material world by material means, by material acquisition, by material sense enjoyment. But it is possible to be absolutely blissful in this world when we're seeing it in relation to the creator of this material world, which is Krishna. And then we see things around us, you know, because Prabhupada would say something like this. Then once there was a story of him watching a sunrise over the Pacific Ocean, or a sunset or something, and Prabhupada said, isn't that so beautiful? And one of the devotees said, but Prabhupada, isn't that Maya? It's just an illusion. Prabhupada says, this is Krishna's Maya. This is Krishna's material energy. And it's amazing, you know, like that, you know. So we're also meant to see, we're meant to, well, Prabhupada said, what, have one good eye and one bad eye. I'm not sure which one is which for me. Oh, this is definitely my bad eye. That must be my good eye. So, you know, like that.
Okay.
But back to your soliloquy.
No, he's all right now.
Who's all right?
The man that had club foot and his wife.
Okay. We cheered him up. Okay. This must be
10.
31, right? Or 10, yeah. He secures money by committing violence. I think that this must be the chapter that makes up a book called The Laws of Nature. Any of you know that? Heavy book. Heavy book. I remember we used to distribute that on the street because we had to empty the warehouse, and that was one of the books, and we were like, this is like the heaviest book, to give this to people on the street. And then they open it up and say, he secures money by committing violence here and there, and although he employs it in the service of his family, he himself eats only a little portion of the food thus purchased, and he goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in such an irregular way. I mean, giving that to someone on the street, what do you think they're going to extract from that? Here's the purport. There is a Bengali proverb, quote, "The person for whom I have stolen accuses me of being a thief." That's pretty funny. The family members for whom an attached person acts in so many criminal ways are never satisfied. In illusion, an attached person serves such family members, and by serving them, he is destined to enter into a hellish condition of life. For example, a thief steals something to maintain his family. Everything okay?
Yeah. Can I just see what it's written?
Jake?
Anne and Pauline. Thank you.
All right. We love to interact with other jivas. For example, a thief steals something to maintain his family, and he is caught and imprisoned. This is the sum and substance of material existence and attachment to material society, friendship, and love. Although an attached family man is always engaged in getting money by hook or by crook, for the maintenance of his family, he cannot enjoy more than what he could consume, even without such criminal activities. A man who eats 8 ounces of foodstuffs may have to maintain a big family and earn money by any means to support that family, but he himself is not offered more than what he can eat, and sometimes he eats the remnants that are left after his family members are fed. Even by earning money by unfair means, he cannot enjoy life for himself. That is called the covering illusion of Maya. Covering illusion. Oh, do we remember those words? Remember the words?
Yes.
Upeksha, prakshepa-atmika, and avaranatmika. Avaranatmika is the covering propensity, and prakshepa-atmika is the pulling down. Avaranatmika. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, yeah. You break the law to to help someone else out, and as soon as you do it, they go, "Oh, you're a thief," and then you go to jail. Point being, so we're so hard. It's so difficult. You try to do whatever you can to make things right, but people are never happy. It's just a fact of the material world, actually.
Yeah.
We try so hard. I remember my parents said that to me all the time. Used to say it to me all the time. You're never happy. You're never satisfied. It's true. I'm never satisfied. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree.
Excuse me.
And the sad part is when we project that onto others, it has a very detrimental effect, because if someone is never, like a parent, or for example, never satisfied and happy and always and projects that, then that other person's always going to feel, I can't live up to your expectations, because you don't have a ceiling on them. You're never happy. You're always looking for, oh, that one's better, oh, this one does better, oh, look what this one did, like that. So
interesting.
Be careful. Next paragraph. The process of illusory service to society, country and community is exactly the same everywhere. The same principle is applicable even to big national leaders. A national leader who is very great in serving his country is sometimes killed by his countrymen because of irregular service. In other words, one cannot satisfy his dependents by this illusory service. Although one cannot get out of the service because servant is his constitutional position. A living entity is constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme Being. But he forgets that he has to render service to the Supreme Being and diverts his attention to serving others. This is called Maya. By serving others, he falsely thinks that he is master. The head of a family thinks of himself as the master of the family, or the leader of a nation thinks of himself as the master of the nation, whereas actually he is serving. And by serving Krishna, he is gradually going to hell. Therefore, a sane man should come to the point of Krishna consciousness and engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, applying his whole life, all of his wealth, his entire intelligence, and his full power of speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's like Srila Prabhupada explains, you have to serve someone or something, it's like a popular thing. I'm my own person, and I don't go for organized religion, or I don't follow this, I did this myself. At the end of the day, as Prabhupada says, when you need to go to the toilet, you need to go to the toilet. So if you don't serve anything, at least you're going to serve your bowels and your bladder. That was my purport on what he said. Expansion. But it's true. Don't matter if you're the president of the United States or yogi. Maybe that's not a good example, because yogi might to control these things, but yeah, you're under the control of something. You're always serving. I think I had too much sugar.
This is the Paris. Okay. All right. So, let's see. We'll read the two without purports.
All right.
Conclude. Text 11. When he suffers reverses in his occupation, he tries again and again to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts and is ruined, he accepts money from others because of excessive greed.
Yeah.
Thus the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply. Mm-hmm. So as we say that, I'm just trying to think that those of us who are out there must know some people kind of in this situation. There are men who try their best to try to somehow serve the family, but then either they just get nothing but grief from them, or at the end of the day, you're not able to maintain them, so then you're just more or less just become kind of overwhelmed and depressed, like that. So anyway, so we'll start next time on text 13, and okay, we'll have another depressing talk. Okay, thank you all very much. Thanks for tuning in to Bhagavatam Bites. Remember, please like,
comment,
subscribe,
share.
Down now. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.